just getting myself a little situated here. Ah, don't mind the camera work. But hi, welcome. We are live today. This is the Monday hangout to go over what's, oh my God, the camera. So it's to go over what's going on during the week. Astrologically, we're going to do channelings. Again, still fiddling with this camera situation. Okay. Okay, I think I can deal. I think that's not going to bother me. But hi, good morning, or good afternoon, or evening. I think for a lot of you, it's probably going to be evening, especially if like you're not in the States. But I hope you guys are doing amazing today. There is some, well, you guys already know, there's big things happening. We're transitioning into spring officially. We have the spring equinox, we have the full moon Libra eclipse coming up, followed by the new moon Aries eclipse. We got Mercury retrograde. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But before I dive in, I want to wait a few minutes for the chat to fill up before we get started. So get your drinky poos, snacks, lunch if it's lunch hour for you, dinner if it's dinner hour for you. And yeah, so let's just hang out for a few minutes. But I hope everybody's been doing really good. See, good morning, good morning. Hey, hello. Hair looking juicy. It was time to wash my hair. Yesterday was my hair wash day. It honestly did feel good to like just be in my natural hair again. The straight hair is definitely coming back though. It's definitely coming back. I just, you need to give your hair breaks in between stuff like that. The energies have been wild the past 2 weeks. I swear they have been. They have been. And this last week was really weird, at least for me. This last week, I almost felt like I was walking through mud. It was like, excuse me, excuse me. It's already starting. I felt like I like had a lot to do, but then when I went to go do it, I could barely get like anything done before time just like flew by. And I don't know if that's just the Sedona effect, like against what's really going on in the collective. Excuse me, but it felt very bizarre and I did not like it. I like your natural hair. It's gorgeous. Thank you. I appreciate that. Straightening my hair was actually very healing for me. This is like not really the video for that, but you guys know I like to chat. Yeah, it was healing for me. And like I said, I will probably be doing it more regularly since I am growing out my sides. It's just a nice hairstyle to have while I'm transitioning this because I do like to wear my hair up and it's like, it's not the look. It's not the vibe when we're in transition here, you know? Hi Keisha, thank you for the $10. Keisha, I think you also like donated last time, which was very sweet, but you also don't have to do that. But thank you. You're always a great light. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you, Keisha. It's collective. I would do something and look up at the clock and hours had gone by. Yeah, it was my Cappy was not happy. My inner Cappy was like, no, we got shit to do and we need to like race against the clock. And I'm like, no. We're not doing that. We're so beyond that lesson. We've learned that. Yeah, I think it's really just been as we've been gearing into this window because we're always going from window to window to window to window. That's kind of how I look at it. But that's just through my lens. And as I always say, go through whatever your lens, your truth is. Just be open-minded to that changing. Be adaptable to your perceptions to change. Is it me or is March flying by? Oh yeah. I mean, even when I did the astrology for the poster, which by the way, links are below if you want the moon calendar as well, that is below. But yeah, when I did the astrology for 2020, I almost said 2025. I'm working on that too, but for 2024, I could see that and I could feel that where it was like, the engines were revving and going faster and faster as we got like deeper into spring. And I think we're feeling that, but I think we're also just feeling the shifting of things as people are making different choices. This is a really interesting window that we're entering into that I'm excited. I think I'm always excited for just change and for new things to happen, but it's interesting. And like I said, we're gonna get into it. We're almost at the 5-minute mark to like jump in. But if you're new, welcome. The way that this works, I go over the astrology, I do channelings, maybe I'll pull some cards, and maybe something else might happen. We never know, because we always just go with the flow over here. But there's big things. I'm also going to be live this Friday on Patreon to talk about the full moon in Libra eclipse and just kind of do more of a deep dive than what I'll be talking about here. Because I'm going to talk about it because there's no way we're not going to talk about it because it's literally the 25th. So it's like the following Monday. So it's worth talking about for this week, even though it technically is not happening in this week. Uh, Good morning, Catherine. Hi. Your hair looks so juicy and healthy. Well, I washed it yesterday, so thank you. I've definitely been putting more energy and time into like hair care routine, well, just a lot of like, taking care of me routines, and it's felt really good. But I think that's also just where we've been at, like since winter and transitioning into spring, all this like Aries Virgo energy we've been dealing with. Again, I will talk about that too, but did I talk about this already in Island Turtle Talk? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but giving ourselves the tools that we weren't given, right, in order to like just live a life that feels good and feels right, feels aligned to ourselves. So maybe we didn't realize the tools we literally were not given that we have to learn to give to ourselves, right? So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. Trauma from 3 years ago, very heavy for me the past 2 weeks. Yeah, very much in line with the collective energy. So that being said, actually hold on. I have my little timestamp stuff ready because you guys know every time I forget, it's just it distracts me. How am I gonna label this? Just like channel info. So just a little quick paraphrasing of what to expect. And of course I said that and didn't even write down the time. There we go. So what to expect this week before we dive into the astrology of things and any other channelings that might want to come forward, because astrology, I love it. It's beautiful. It can be very complex, and I know I enjoy all of that, like mathematical information. Most people don't enjoy that. So I'm going to give you the most paraphrased summary that I can for this week, and then kind of the energy we're moving through all the way through spring for the next 3 months. So this week, as we enter into spring equinox and we get ready to really go through these like windows and portals of the eclipses, I'm not gonna say it's a final battle because that sounds so dramatic. It's like so absolute. It's another window where we are still sitting in this like North Node Chiron like period of time that we've been in for months that's allowed us to really shed. I've just been calling it the shedding because I don't know what else to call it. It's been this very, very, very deep shedding and very deep clearing of insecurities, of fears, of programmings and stories and self-limiting beliefs and wounds and all of those things, right? And we're still in that window. But as we get ready to go through spring and into especially the full moon Libra, it's like it's this window of, okay, are you going to let yourself be done now? Like, are you going to give yourself permission to fully be done with these inner demons and fighting these demons and fighting these reflections of self? Or are you going to really allow yourself to just live a different story? Are you going to allow yourself to really live and build the life you actually want and with the people that you actually want? There's also a really interesting like stage. It's like, again, just follow me, stage that this is happening on individually. And again, these all these energies can manifest for you in different ways, but it's really happening within the stage of relationships, personal calling, but also long-term stability. And with that long-term stability, there's ancestral stuff there. There's also, and I'm talking like future forward here. I think we have a tendency to get really stuck in the past, and this is about like we need to not do that anymore. We need to really be out of that. But what we can give ourselves and our future generations, right? Really, again, putting ourselves into future forward thinking. I would say spring is future forward focus in the present. And then like when we shift into summer, I don't know, summer is going to be weird. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Summer is going to be this summer's going to be bizarre, but spring feels really fun and creative and very exciting if you allow yourself to go there, if you give yourself permission to go there. But that's really a free will choice. So some people will, some people won't. And again, these could look very different for you depending on what's part of your personal journey, right? Voice activations have already been happening. That will continue all the way through April. Sound, getting into the element of sound and the power of sound will also be very important, especially when we get into May. May is going to be really interesting and kind of funky. And like I'm smiling because it's gonna be like It is. It's going to be exciting. We're going to start shifting into that Gemini energy. Things might start to feel very real. And how do I want to say that? That's just how I wanted to come through. Almost getting like bringing things down into like the physical plane is how that feels. Yeah, it feels like April and beginning of May is like a lot of frolic. A lot of frolic, a lot of experimentation, a lot of allowing for things to come, like fall into your life, even, and to play with that. Let your inner child play there a little bit. But then when we hit the end of May, it almost has this feeling of like, okay, let's like make some choices here. um yeah, let's make some choices and actually cement things into our physical reality. And when we hit June, when we're about to transfer transition into summer, we're going to hit that 6-6 new moon Gemini. Oh, so amped for that. I'm so amped for that. That's going to mark a midpoint of the year, and not just from a Gregorian calendar standpoint, but even from a moon cycle standpoint. Like January 11th, we had a moon cycle on that day. June 6th is when we have the new moon Gemini, and 11/1, I believe, is when we have the next one. So it's almost like this little milestone in the middle of things, and it is in Gemini. And it's just, there's so much Gemini on that new moon. It's crazy, but that's going to be another window that almost feels kind of eclipse like. I just did a little synopsis for it for a project slash event thing that I'm working on. But so kind of coming back before we hit this full moon in Libra, there may be some desire to kind of contemplate and sit in isolation in the beginning of the week. So now I'm kind of coming back full circle to the beginning of the week more so than the next 3 months, but I gave you guys a little gist of the next 3 months. That contemplative period of time, again, really feels like today, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday. Wednesday would be a good day for it just because it's Odin's day, but that will be very beneficial into whatever has been shedding for you to like really go balls to the wall with it. Okay. Especially before we get into full moon Libra. And this will also obviously do it during the spring equinox, which it actually is tomorrow. And then as we hit that full moon Libra, there are a lot of really cool opportunities, big changes, transformative relationships, transformative opportunities that can actually lead you to the future, the stability, what you want to leave behind as your legacy, whether that's within family or just whatever it is that you're doing on planet Earth, right? That is going to be a really beautiful window to allow yourself the permission to step into that. A key way of doing that is actually going to be through just honoring your soul. I know how that sounds, but through Pisces, essentially, like honoring your soul, honoring your heart, and really like just flowing with it. And even if you don't know where you're going, because that was something else that was coming through too, like there's a bit of a fogginess that still may be very present as we're moving into the full moon Libra, but it's almost like the more you embrace just following like your compass, your nose of your intuition, and you walk through the fog, the clearer it's going to get. But it's almost like the more you fight that and the more you allow yourself to get caught up in your own reflections, get caught up in all of that Chiron energy, fighting yourself. It kept coming through as fighting the self, which I thought was really fascinating. It kept coming through that way when I was channeling it. If you keep allowing yourself to get caught up in the self, you're just going to get more fog. You're just going to be like almost like creating more fog around you. So to make peace with whatever those things are is better to do in the beginning of the week, again, today through Wednesday. And then as you do that, however you do that, you can actually start to get deeper into self, deeper into your heart to follow your compass. Okay. And that will lead to a lot of surprises. That will lead you to actually what it is you want. And that was the other thing too I was getting, and it also was coming through in the astrology, like the fighting the self and like creating more fog. It actually might bring up challenges that actually keep you away from the stability that you're wanting. So it's like you can fight or you can surrender, is really what it is. You can fight or you can surrender. That is what we're doing this week. And then again, leading into the full moon Libra eclipse. But however that comes up for you personally is unique to you. But that is the overall gist of this week. Keep fighting yourself and stay in that cycle, all those cycles, or just allow yourself to be done and just surrender and give it up, right? So that's what I have to say about that. Now, getting into the astrology, again, I don't want to like beat you guys over the head with the astrology. Some people love it, and I do go really deep on Patreon for all the astrology stuff, but I don't want to beat anybody over the head with all the verbiage of astrology. But before I get into the little sections and little clusters of energy, I will say cardinal mutable signs will be really affected this week. And kind of all over the board. So it's like cardinal and mutable. We know Aries is important, Cappy is very important, Gemini and Pisces really important, Virgo is important, and even Cancer. And of course Libra as we get into the eclipse next week, but cardinal mutable signs. Okay. And if you have any like cardinal or mutable placements that are between like 15, 20 degrees, 18 degrees and 16 really stand out for me in that. You're just really going to feel the intensity of this week. Okay. All right. Now let's dive in. So this first little cluster of like fighting the self, and I actually wrote like old demons. I wrote demons of old. I don't know who I was channeling there. Demons of old. Sounds so old timey. But anyway, so fighting the self. So we have that conjunction between the North Node and Chiron and Aries. That conjunction has been literally the epitome of the shedding that I've been talking about. Okay. So we have this shedding is also square Ceres and Cappy and is sextile Chariclo. That Ceres Cappy is part of that long-term legacy. What are we leaving behind? What are we giving to future generations? Again, really try to like, if any of you are really struggling, being really stuck in the past, they were showing me the Eight of Swords a lot too when I was making my notes and I was getting ready for this video. They kept showing me the Eight of Swords. That's again fear. That's fighting the self because it's also self-made imprisonment of the mind, right? But anyway, Ceres and Cappy is all about that future of self, future of others sort of vibe and how you're going to nurture that. So the more you get stuck in like the fractals of reflections of fighting the self, the harder it's going to be to find the security you're really looking for and what you want to leave behind in your legacy. Okay. But Chariclo coming in with Aquarius is also offering opportunities to actually be done with the shedding. Okay. Now, from beginning to the end of the week, we have Mercury really playing with the North Node and Chiron because it is in Aries. And then as it moves to the end of the week, it will actually be working with Eris. Excuse me. So in the beginning of the week, as we're feeling a little bit more contemplative and allowing ourselves to like do what we need to do to be done with the shedding in whatever way we're doing that, Mercury working with North Node and Chiron is helping us gain the clarity we need. Some of you that's going to be through communication. Some of you that will actually lead to some sort of voice activation because that's also just collectively what we're also going through right now. So utilize that if that's something you need right. Excuse me. If that's something you need right now. And then of course, as Mercury starts to work with Eris in Aries, there's going to be more of an assertive outspokenness. Enjoy it. I would just say be mindful because that's also going to be under the full moon Libra. That's an aspect that will be active under full moon Libra. And full moon Libra is about really truly achieving justice and true harmony for yourself by breaking away from this fighting the self, from the living in cycles of reflection and suffering and all of that nonsense, and actually following your soul and your heart, right? That will lead to surprising opportunities that will be very, very fulfilling on a relationship level, home level. Oh, the home is interesting too. So again, I'll dive into this on Patreon on Friday, but the full moon Libra, and I don't know if anyone's talked about this, but there's actually going to be some big changes with the home, like really big changes with domestic life, whether that's soul fam, bio fam, how you're living, where you're living, who you're living with. I was getting that too, like who you're living with. And I was like, oh, it's very funky. But that is actually going to come into play very heavily in full moon Libra, especially those who are really following their intuition versus continuing to fight themselves and their fears and their ego and all of that. It just feels like getting caught up in like a hall of mirrors, like almost halls of a mentee kind of like vibe is how that feels to me, like getting caught up over there versus being like, okay, I'm actually done now. And I'm finding justice for myself in doing this and finding harmony and balance in my life by going over here. Now I'm being done. So when Mercury is working with Eris, it feels positive. I could just see people, especially those who are getting caught up here, almost get even louder about getting caught up in here. And we might see that too, like in our reality or just collectively, like people getting very loud about what they're attached to. That's also another lens of polarity you could be experiencing this through too, of attachment versus detachment. That's a bit, yeah. It's like as I said that, I was like, oh, I felt that. So there's a big chunk of the collective that could be experiencing it that way. Attachment versus unattachment. Okay. But so, just keep that in mind. And then I'll get back to that after the fact. The biggest cluster of energy that we're working with this week, and also will be in line with the full moon Libra, Saturn, Venus, and Jupiter will all be working together. And what's interesting is that they're all going to be aspecting a bunch of like asteroids, which I thought was kind of cool, because since they're all working together, they create different aspects with these asteroids. So it's just one big cluster of energy. So I don't want to confuse you or overwhelm you, but just know that Venus and Saturn are in Pisces. I don't know why that was sorry to come out of my mouth. And Jupiter is in Taurus. So Venus and Saturn are working together in Pisces, and they're sextile Jupiter in Taurus. Now, the other celestial bodies that are at play with this cluster, Ceres and Cappy, the whole legacy one that I was talking about, Chariklo, which we've talked about before, Orcus and Virgo. The White Rabbit asteroid is present too, but I'm not going to get too deep into all of that. But just know that when you have Venus and Saturn in a conjunction, it's really, really good for commitment and devotion. Whatever you're committing yourself to, is this actually really good for marriage? I would say yes, to be honest with you. I would definitely say yes. And I know we're going through eclipse season, so normally I would not say like get married right before we hit eclipses. And actually, this is probably more like the planning of it, not the actual doing of it, because Venus is going to be working with Saturn for a little bit. But it is good for that. Now, with it being in Pisces, though, being committed and devoted to matters of the soul, matters of empathy, compassion, creativity, healing, really, really conducive for that this week. Which, again, if you're trying to shift from getting caught up over here in the halls of a mentee of the self and suffering and all of that craziness, and allowing yourself to transition into breaking into these new opportunities and relationships that actually will facilitate the legacy you want to leave behind and even help you with your own personal calling, really good for that, especially with Jupiter backing that up as well. A lot of opportunities going to be coming up this week. And then when eclipses happen, even more so. Now, actually, I guess that's it. Oh, I said it in a way more concise manner than I anticipated, to be honest with you. Okay, so I will say this. From the beginning to the end of the week when it comes to this cluster, we do have Venus in the beginning, square Pallas Athena in Sag, and also opposing Juno. And then towards the end of the week, Venus is actually going to be even more sextile to Jupiter. So that Venus Pisces, this I think is actually going to facilitate kind of going within, because Venus and Pisces is already about that. Pisces is already about isolation. But when it's square Pallas Athena in Sag, Pallas Athena wants to make things happen. Pallas Athena wants to put things in order. Pallas Athena wants to bring solutions, right? And especially in Sagittarius, she wants to do this. She wants to get going. Venus and Pisces, not so much. Not so much. And so there may be a little bit of tension where you feel like you're actually supposed to be very active in the beginning of the week, or very much like in the mix of things to get things in order. Honor that when you can, but also recognize that there is a lot of benefit to being more reflective and really getting into your own internal world in the beginning of the week, especially if you're still like moving away from this shedding and attachment to old selves and wounds and etc. Okay, especially with that opposition to Juno being there in the beginning of the week too, that also kind of plays into that. Juno being in Virgo, Juno is protection of women. Juno is also about partnerships, but it is also Virgo. In Virgo, it's also about being of service, or being able to get into a place where you can nurture and you can do and you can put things in order. So again, honor that where you can, but also really honor your own emotional and spiritual needs right now. Okay. Yeah, and while we're in that contemplative state, Mercury working with North Node and Chiron will also help us get away from that. So we can finally go through here. It feels like a bridging. It feels like allowing yourself to build the necessary bridge to get away from that kind of way of being and reality and that version of self to like to get over here, which feels really good. We do have some other ones that are like, I'm not gonna say they're minor because they're not minor. They're aspects that are riding solo that aren't necessarily connected to other aspects that are going on. So I'm not gonna like beat you over the head with them because there's quite a few, but just know that Vesta in Gemini is playing a role as it's working with Mars and Neptune. Square in Neptune, but trine in a Mars in the Mars energy. Well, Mars is also transitioning to Pisces this week from Aquarius. So again, more of that Piscean energy coming through. But Vesta in Gemini, you guys heard me talk about Vesta in Gemini. She gets a little restless in Gemini because it's all about the possibilities, the infinite possibilities of the things that could make us happy and the things that could make us feel fulfilled, and also the importance of communication and getting in the mix and trying all these different things and, you know, having a little bit more of a complex, how do I want to say, life that could also be fulfilling. Now, sometimes I feel like when Vesta's in Gemini, it can create a little bit of confusion because she is like very restless. But with Mars also being there and then all of this, like, hey, get down to the nitty gritty of what's really going on within you that you need to really fully be done with to give yourself permission to bridge into the life that really is well suited for you. And it's very magical too, because like I said, this bridging feels like walking through fog. But the more you listen to your intuition, the more you really let your soul do the walking and talking, the more that fog is going to lift. And the more surprising opportunities and especially relationships will be coming up and then actually just leading you to what it is you're wanting in the first place. So it's a nice like surrender, trust, getting calmer energy when you're really doing that versus staying over here. But as Mars moves into Pisces from Aquarius and it's working with Vesta Gemini, it's going to help Vesta Gemini calm down a little bit. It also is going to aid us in really discerning within our personal callings, within the limitless options of what that looks like and how that can be. So I know I said a lot right there. It's like felt very Gemini. I just said that or described that. But yeah, so that's the final thing I would say about this week. So overall, it's a cool week. It's a cool week. Let's build the bridge we need and be done with that. Be done with it. Be done with it. Again, not everybody's gonna be ready to do that. And that's okay too, right? Everyone's just in a different spot. Everybody's ready to make different choices. And I've said this before too about this year, how important choices are, how impactful choices are. We're we're gonna have continuous windows of choices. Hold on. Throughout the entire year. It's gonna feel kind of endless, to be honest with you. Like where we make choices, I'm like, okay, we're ready to go. And then we hit a window and it's like, whoa, more choices. What happened? It's like, oh, there's more now. Oh, there's more now. So the more you put off making choices and really like deciding things for yourself, the crazier this year, no, not crazy, the more overwhelming this year may become. I'm not trying to like put that on you. I'm just saying it's a potential, it's a possibility. Okay. Just visualize a clearance sign that said it all must go. Yeah. And it's not like any of that stuff didn't happen. And it's not like any of that stuff wasn't real. It's just making the conscious effort to do whatever you need to do on a soul level, an emotional level, to be done with it and to let it be over there. It's like, and just not in the reality anymore. Right. And I feel like for a lot of us, I mean, no, I mean, they said it's across the board. Okay, thank you. It's across the board. It's across the board. So as we enter into these portals, spring, there's so much exciting, fun, brilliant experiences. Surprise. They keep saying surprising. There's a really nice, like excited, childlike energy too that's coming up because we do have all this Gemini energy, like trying to come in. It's gonna be fun. It can be. It has the potential to be. but that's really dependent on if you're going to allow it, right? You can keep doing what you've been doing, you can keep living the life you've been living, but a part of you is probably always going to feel that energy of it could be different. It could be different. But if you're happy, you're happy. But if you're not, well, then you're not. Oh, okay, sorry, one last thing. I have so many notes right here. I have my 2024 spring astrology notes. I've got so many astrology notes all over my place. Anyway, Mercury retrograde. I talked about this last week a little bit, but just know that it is happening on April 1st and it will be going stationary direct on the 25th. Now, we're already in the pre-shadow. Post-shadow will continue through May. And some important dates when it comes to that, because like I mentioned last week, Mercury working with Chiron will highlight some of the growth, lessons, experiences that we can have with this Mercury retrograde. Mercury working with Chiron. So Mercury will be conjunct Chiron at different times, at different dates, and it will be again tied to this Mercury retrograde. So just know that those dates are March 20th will be the first time Mercury goes conjunct Chiron, which is literally like 2 days from now. And then April 15th, while Mercury is retrograding. And then May 6th, when Mercury is in its post-shadow phase, right before the new moon Taurus, actually. It's like literally the day before. It's sandwiched between Pluto going retrograde and the new moon Taurus. Ooh, that's interesting. Hold on, I'm sitting with that for a second. That's really interesting. Yeah, May is going to be. Yeah, May just feels like choices and then getting serious about the choices you've made and the choices you've been living out since March is how May feels. And April is when we're just in the thick of those experiences. Yeah, thank you. They basically just summarized Mercury retrograde. The choices we make now will set up our experiences for April, but for some of us, it will also be like for months to come because we also have Jupiter sextile Saturn creating long-term success and rewards for whatever it is that you're investing into. But the choices we make now will be fully experiencing in April, and then come May, it's almost this moment of like, oh, this is where this has brought me. Oh shit, look at all the options that are suddenly pouring into my reality off of the choices I just made and I'm living out. So kind of what I was saying before. Yeah, May feels very earthy, which is kind of strange actually. But I think that's really just the energy asking us to be like, hey, let's anchor this in, let's get into it, and let's go to the next level. Let's go to the next. Very Gemini. Yeah. Anyway, could get lost in that forever. Let's go ahead and pull some cards. How's that sound? I think that sounds good. That sounds very good. That feels like a crazy alignment. This whole year's crazy alignments. Like I remember I looked at every moon cycle, right? So I think it was starting in, might have been August. August is going to be a crazy month. I think it was August where it was like every other moon cycle, there's a grand cross. And I was like, that's a little crazy. That's a little insane. There's all kinds of funky astrology this year. Excited for eclipse season. Sound great. Why strange? May is Taurus season also. It's strange because I feel so much air and sound. I feel so much like non-physical energy that we're working with. But it feels like, yeah, it feels like being in the element of sound, air, and ether, which also is highlighted for this year. I go over all of it too in the synopsis on my calendar, but being in those very like kind of mutable plate like energies and then do something with it is how May feels. That's how May feels. Just taking one more peek. I can't help myself. Can you tell? Yeah, in May we have the new moon Taurus and full moon Sag, even more just mutable energy. But we also have a sun conjunction with Uranus and the sun will be trine Pluto. Yeah, May feels really huge. May feels huge. But anyway, I feel like I could do a whole other video on that if I let myself just dive into that. Sound baths been very comforting lately. Yeah, sound is going to be super important. And I also have this feeling too. We already do like sound healings in the way that we have thought about them. But I feel like I've seen a timeline, getting nasally. I feel like I've seen a timeline where we actually use sound medically um to match the vibration that the body needs to actually like be rid of certain diseases is something that I've been tuning into. That'd be really cool if that could come out in our reality. Maybe it'll take a few years. I don't know. Um, but that would be really cool. I've been listening to more frequencies at night. My voice feels like it's changing. Voice activations. I'm telling you, like voice activations this year, huge, huge. Also, third eye too. Um, Again, all of that like upper chakra, sound, ether, air, voice, consciousness, the mind. It's like our ability to have awareness on the bigger picture is going to, what's the word? The words are so hard for me right now. It's going to be amplified. It's going to grow, evolve, advance. Thank you. Advance, I think, is a better word for it. Like, even people who have been, able to see a lot, right? It's like your ability to see more is going to grow. And everyone's experiencing that for wherever they're at in their personal journeys. So big stuff, big stuff. But anyway, I want to get into some cards. Let's do that. Let's get into some cards for the collective. What deck are we going with here? Oh, okay. Not what I expected. Do I even have that deck out? Hold on a second. Oh, it's right in front of my face. Funny. All right. I'm kind of surprised. The angel, not angel, excuse me. Interesting, I said angel. Ancestor Spirit Oracle wants to play. All right, we can do that. I rarely use this deck on YouTube. I'll use it for like personal reads and stuff. That's interesting. This wanted to come out. Any messages or insights for the collective for this week? And I forgot the timestamp again. Yes, we're on collective. We are on collective. 40 minutes in, jeez. Really decide now what you want. That's something that was coming through too. Again, this all comes back to choices and choices and choices and the accountability of choices, making them or not making them. And keep in mind when you are actively not making choices, you're still making a choice. It's a choice to be complacent, right? It's a choice to just not be accountable. I hate to say it that way, but that's kind of how it's coming through. Which again, if that's how you're living, that's totally fine if that's making you happy. But if you're not happy about it, it's time to be realistic as to why you're not making choices. Oh, excuse me. Hold on a second. And as I said that, the cards got all kinds of crazy. What the heck? It's like half the deck flipped over. Okay. There's also this feeling too of just not feeling capable. Again, I think that just comes down to belief, right? The things that you really truly want, why do you have this feeling or a fear, or maybe it's just the monkey mind like doing negative self-talk as to why you think you're not really capable or why you think it's not for you. We've gone over this the last few months because that's literally the stuff we've been shedding, right? But that's something else that's coming through. Like, where is Where is your belief as far as your own capability and accountability? So I know I saw a comment really early on that somebody said they're having some digestive stuff. So that's been collective for quite a few months now, actually. So we've all gone through it differently for different durations. Some of you hasn't hit you yet. Some of it was months ago. I think mine was like January, February, when I was recovering from surgery. That solar plexus energy is also part of that too, right? It's self-worth and how we believe in ourselves, the seat of our chi, of our mana, right? Also the place where we can take action from. Interesting. So we have psychic strength coming out here. Shields, talismans, and gold light. That feels like being responsible for your energy field. That's how that feels. Making sure your containers are contained. Your container is solid. And when I'm also getting the body, it's not just psychically. Thank you. Okay, sorry, so many things. There's a little bit of hypersensitivity going on. I can feel that. There's a little bit of case of hypersensitivity. And if you're struggling to contain your energy and not be too like immersed in external energies, if you're struggling with that, you could be also experiencing that physically. Okay. It could be affecting you physically. This is, yeah, that's all I keep getting with this, is just make sure that you are working on your container. You're solidifying your container. Thank you. Hold on. Also very important for making decisions. Because if we're sensitive, if we're a little hypersensitive than normal, whether we consider ourselves psychic or not, or empathic or not, doesn't really matter. Because if our sensitivity is increasing, that means needing to like calibrate differently. It means we're taking on energy that we're not used to taking on. And that could absolutely affect our feelings. That could absolutely affect our sense of connecting to ourselves and what is my truth and what do I really feel and what do I really believe and how do you make choices for your life and yourself if you're a little kerfumbled on those things, right? So definitely getting that. Any other messages or insights for the collective this week? Hold on. Okay. So this is something I've spoken about on Patreon. I don't think I've actually ever mentioned it here on YouTube. And people I've had sessions with, when it has come up to mention it, it would help them as a tool. I've mentioned it. Some of you need to not need to. Let me take my words back. Some of you may benefit. Some of you may benefit from really further deepening your connection with your team so that you actually can request help, specific help with specific things. I don't know if you guys heard that. I don't know what that was, as I was just trying to talk about that. They're like, yes, let's make noise to confirm what she's saying. I don't know what that was. Anyway, I'm sorry. ADD. Because if you can do that, if you can deepen your relationship with your team, then you also know who can help you in very specific ways. And that's also what I'm getting to about the container. You can request that certain guides or members, I'm going to say members of your team, because like that's a very all-encompassing, just the different beings that could be on your team, to become like your bodyguard, essentially, to help you be contained, to help keep certain energies away. Okay. Yeah, beautiful. Reconnect with Mother Earth and re-energize your life. Definitely feeling that Venus Pisces energy here, right? Your container, your reality, your energy, your soul, your truth, your feelings, your emotions, getting into that contained space to deal with the shedding that's over there, deal with that, and allow yourself to bridge, right? Especially with that re-energize your life. Re-energize your life is exactly how it sounds. It's taking the time you need to get your life in balance and in order so that you can have momentum, so that you can have some sense of vitality, so you can get some of your energy back. Some of you need to reclaim your energy from people. Definitely getting that too. Definitely getting that too. The reconnect to Mother Earth, I feel like that's not just connecting to self, but connecting to nature, connecting to spirit, but it is about having this sense of like safety. Um, Platform, interesting. Security, security, security to do that, to have yourself contained. See if any other cards want to come out. And since tomorrow is the equinox, any of you who do rituals or who enjoy rituals, even if you don't, ritual doesn't have to be grand and big and detailed. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. But I would recommend um, doing something that could help you or assist you or just acknowledge what you want to clear, what you want to transmute, and what you want to reclaim, and what you want to remove yourself from to build your bridge. I hope that makes sense. All right. People who are taking from you can't take anymore. That's something else that's coming through. This is interesting. It's not quite energy vampire. It's not quite that. People who take your time and your focus and your energy, but like it's like almost feeling like a weird disconnect. Like something is not in flow with some of these individuals. So you'll know how this applies to you because I feel like I'm speaking to a very specific part of the collective where it's like you've been participating, you've been giving, but it's not in flow or hasn't been in flow. Something's been like wonky or just weird about it. And I think even your intuition's like something's weird and something's not right here. Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah. So with anybody who's resonating with that, as we move into building the bridge, I feel like a lot of those people might naturally fall away the more you honor building your bridge. Actually, maybe that's what I'll title this week, Building Your Bridge. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Any other messages or insights for the collective for this week? Enjoy new beginnings. I like that that's here. Celebrate, socialize, change. This is a really interesting card. I really enjoy it because it actually, even though it's a very wintry card, it speaks of that moment that like that. It's like how do I want to say this? The moment of. I feel like some people might say like the eye of the storm. It's not that. It's like it's this moment of it almost feels like a breath of like oh, change is afoot, but I have the present moment now. It's this acknowledgement of I'm in a grace period. I'm in a window before change is about to happen. What can I do with it? Right? But it really speaks to enjoying it. It really speaks to enjoying it. And I also feel like it's thank you. They're bringing back the winter because I spoke on it and then I moved away from it, but there's a reason I brought it up. The winter energy of really officially moving away from winter and into spring. Um, Calling in spring, calling in your spring and just being happy, being grateful for this moment that we're in before change really happens. Um, yeah. Underneath that we have clear your mind. It's really the clear that's sticking out. It's not just the mind. It feels like that's what we're doing here. Again, especially in these first few days as we are welcoming spring and saying goodbye to winter. As we're building our bridge, it's really allowing ourselves to clear the body, clear the soul, clear the mind, clear the heart or clear the clutter. Clear, 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 clear. It is preparation. Yeah, it's preparation. Nice. I'll pull some more cards for the collective too before we move into elements. I need to shift out my decks. You guys know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just feel like you go through phases where it's like, okay, different energy wants to participate. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that with my cards. No, not those. No. 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 I will. I will decide on one, I promise. Yeah, okay. We're gonna do Big Bertha. How many decks do you have? I have a lot. I have a lot. I have ones that are in rotation. I think is a good way to put it. The ones that are in rotation are on my decks shelves. The ones that are not in rotation are put away, and then when I feel them call, I rotate them out. But I also have some that I have like put aside that I actually want to give away. I really just haven't had the time or space to do giveaways though. I felt her coming out. It was like she did call me initially, and I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, no, yes. I was like, okay. So again, if you're new, Big Bertha, she's a combination deck of Starseed Oracle and Angels and Ancestors deck. And interesting, I did say Angels when I pulled out the Ancestor Oracle, so she wants to be out. Oldie but goodie. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have a lot of decks. When you become a reader, hi Sam. Hey Sam. When you become a reader, and you've been doing it as long as I have, I've been doing this for a few years now. It just happens. It just like it's not like you try to like create an insane collection of decks. It just happens. It just happens. Um, I'm like I don't even want to say like the number of decks I think I had when I had at my most because I have gotten rid of some in the last couple of years. Yeah, I have gotten rid of some, and I think it also depends on what kind of reader you are too. It's like everyone's different. But I think because I read for so many different people, and I tune into very different parts of the collective, even simultaneously, and then we also go through shifts on top of that. I think that's why I do have so many different decks with different personalities. One more. I never catch these lives. Well, welcome. They almost come to you. They do. They really do. They really do. Okay. Any other messages or insights for the collective for this week? Tell me about psychic strength. Direction Guardian. And of course, a Guardian is coming out with that, right? Because this is about the container. Your container. Direction Guardian helps us to navigate, helps us to discern what choices we should be making or what choices we want to make. So just kind of hitting home on everything I've already talked about. Okay. Yeah, literally it says choose your path. Choose the path and the bridge you're going to build to get to the path. To align to that path. Tell me about reconnect with Mother Earth. Oh, yum. We have the High Priestess, Divine Feminine Principle. Perfect to go with Mother Earth. Harness mystic power. Mystical is the same word. Look at that. Very, very potent feminine mother, grandmother, crone, goddess energy. Bast has been coming up in the collective for sure. And just looking at that, I'm like, Bast. Very strong Bast. Isis. Who else am I feeling up in here? Bridget? I don't work with Bridget. And I'm not even really familiar with what kind of goddess she is, but that just came through. Bridget? Maybe some of you guys work with Bridget. Portal Keeper. Wait. What? Portal Keeper. Some of you may work with certain, I'm gonna say deities, certain deities or beings regarding portals, specifically goddesses of magic, is how that wants to come through. Very interesting. But that's just what's coming through. And obviously it's not all encompassing because again, I'm reading for a lot of people, but yes, this is definitely getting into your container to get into your own innate divine power as a divine being on this planet. You create the reality you want. You create the reality you want. And this is a time to create the bridge to the reality you want. Clyde just started snoring. He's so cute. Okay, anyway, moving on. Tell me about re-energize your life for the collective. They're bringing me back to this card, though. They're mentioning Pisces, 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 right? You can keep fighting or you can surrender. You can keep fighting or you can surrender. Embracing that Pisces energy is a form of surrender, which will create a form of receptivity. That's also what I'm getting here, too. A little bit of like a magician pulling in, like a Queen of Wands attracting in, pulling in. Actually, I'm getting octopus, too. I'm getting all kinds of things now. But it's about the pulling in. There's very little effort of exerting a lot of effort. There's very little of that going on here, right? And that's also what I was saying before, right? It's like if you surrender and you just kind of follow your soul, you follow the nose of your compass, the nose of your intuition, things are just going to start popping up in your reality. People, opportunities, and again, household is something that's big too. And that actually is bringing in the stability you're looking for, the legacy you're wanting to be a part of, or wanting to build, or wanting to expand. He's starting to make weird noises. I just want to keep an eye on him. Anyway, but it's surrender, it's Pisces, it's feminine, it's not assertive. It's not, I'm going to go and make this happen, because no. If you do that, you're over here, right? You're trying to control, you're trying to force, trying to grab a hold, trying to fight. Usa surrender. Usa surrender, it's going to come right to you, okay? Tell me about energize your life. Whoa, okay. A lot of cards want to come out with that one. Star family. This one always makes me happy when this comes out. You're part of a toll. Oh my God, words. A toll. You're part of a toll. You're part of a team of souls. You're part of a team of souls calling your team. We also have Magic Guardian. It's funny because I was picking up on the magic, right? Then we have Sun. Ooh. Well, I'm feeling really strong Mars energy here. I'm sorry, defenselessness, riding past wrongs, uprooting. Feel really strong Mars energy there. And then we have Venus, literally, with surrender to sweetness. So let's get into that here. Again, this is coming in for re-energizing your life. While we're in the container and we're clearing, we're building the bridge, allowing opportunities and people to come to us. Opportunities and people, what are we doing it with? We're doing it with our magic. By pulling in, very Queen of Wands energy right there. But then we have this. We have the sun, beautiful, illumination, new beginnings, happiness, joy, summertime, right? And then I'm sorry. This feels like walking on the bridge and walking away from all of that. That's what this feels like. I just can't stop feeling Mars here. I can't stop feeling Mars there. Ooh. Yeah. This card feels like that moment of when you're deciding that you're done with the shedding and you're done with all of the distortion, programs, wounds, all those things. Because it's interesting. There's something in this card I've never seen before. I've always noticed the two people in the roots. I've never seen this. I've never seen that. I have never seen that. I feel like this is allowing yourself to just not do that to yourself anymore. That might also come with also doing that within relationships, like maybe certain conversations within relationships. But this definitely feels like just getting away from allowing those realities, those wounds, etc., to affect you in that way. And then we literally move into where we're going, right? This is literally point A, the shedding, walking to point B. Sweetness, Venusian energy, joy, make love to life. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. I mean, that's crazy. It's like, and some of you may also experience this in the polarity of separation versus unity consciousness, literally separation and unity. Um, Everyone's going to be experiencing it differently and have different words for it, but that's essentially what it is. Don't sit in your head, flow forward. Yeah. Just seeing what other cards want to come out. Any other messages or insights? Okay. Earth School in deep cellular healing. So again, I think that's just kind of emphasizing, right, where we've been, what we've been dealing with, what we've been looking at, what we've been healing, transmuting, all the things. That's also partly why we're here. Some of you, this is going to be experienced through the lens of karma and past lives, like past life trauma, especially that deep cellular healing or ancestral. Then we have, ooh, I like the feeling of this, activated earth. Ley lines, power places, trust where you're led, and star bathing. Light body, crystal grid transmission and activation as it comes flying out of my hands here. Like I said, some of us are going to experience major changes in our living situations and who we decide is our family, soul or bio, and who we may be living with, where we may be living, or how we may be living. And I'm feeling a little bit of that here. Like some of you may be taking some trips or suddenly feel like you need to be somewhere else and you just follow it. That's how it's also feeling, but it feels very activating and just aligned with where you're trying to bridge yourself to. That feels really good to be very positive. Some of you may just need to take some soldiers in the form of a trip to a very specific place. So whether it's a move or just a little vacay, follow it. Follow your intuition. If your intuition's like, hey, we need to go be over here for a few days. Hey, we need to go be over there for like a week. Or you know what? You need to move. We need to move now. Just follow that intuition. Overall, we do have eagle. Also beautiful. See from a higher perspective. And just because I do feel like it does relate, we do have earth guardian underneath that. We got 3 guardians here. It's a lot of guardians because there's not that many guardian cards. And this is, you guys saw, this deck is fat. Okay? It's a fat deck because it's 2 decks. And the guardians are only in the angels and ancestors deck. How many guardians are there? I'm trying to remember. Air, water, earth, fire. Magic, direction, protection. I think there's only 7 or 8 and there's 3 of them out here. Just saying. Like I said, container. But yes, this is also to make sure you have the clarity, the discernment in your own energy, in your container to navigate. Excuse me. Guardian as an archetype. I feel like it's referring to our teams, honestly. Hold on a second. I went to the gym yesterday. And I'm very sore. I feel like it's really referring to our teams, honestly. So I think that's also why that came through earlier, like deepen your relationship with your teams, because that's going to facilitate and help us all this week. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move into the elementals. Okay. Really quick, just to show you underneath the guardian, the earth guardian, we do have the portal card. Just saying. I was like, oh, look at that. All right. I'm just going to take like a couple minute breather before we dive in because it literally has been over an hour. Water, please. We're going to do all the elements. You guys are funny. Big Bertha activating everyone as usual. She does do that, doesn't she? She really does do that. Let's see. Just catching up on comments. Okay. I'm so glad you're doing weekly videos again. I could feel the collective was like weeklies, 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 weeklies. And of course there were obviously comments about it. But you know, while I was in recovery, I could feel it. Like I feel a lot of things, guys. I feel a lot of things. So I can feel when you guys are like, is she gonna go live? Is she gonna do Aries? Is she gonna do Scorpio? Like I can feel all that. I can feel all that. It's so nice interacting with you. It is. I'm glad I'm making this switch. Actually, okay, so a little quick announcement before we get into the elements. So I mentioned this last week about doing talking circles, and I do still plan on doing that. This last week was just so weird of like moving through mud, and so I kept like trying to get to it, and then suddenly time just like poof, just like disappeared, and I was like, okay, but it's still on my list. It is on my list. I'm very determined to do that today, tomorrow. Like I'm determined. It's like almost number one priority amongst other things. So, um, hold on. LOL. Are you getting the weekly's energy? uh, let's see. I like you a lot, Ren. You seem like a very kind, fun soul. Oh, thank you. I like to think of myself that way. Try my best anyway. There's a deck called Chrysalis Tarot, which I can imagine you probably super duper channel with. It's crazy juicy. Chrysalis. Oh, excuse me, guys. Sorry. It's like this energy. Hold on, Chrysalis. I really shouldn't be buying any more decks, though. I shouldn't. I did indulge in actually buying a friend's deck, like a friend of mine, and I'm still getting to know it, so that's why I haven't used it on the channel yet. But when I use it on the channel, I'm gonna be very excited. Um, when the time comes, I will tell you about the deck and tell you about my friend. What's something you never expected about becoming a reader? Hmm. I mean, it changed my life. It's funny. I literally had this conversation with a new friend of mine a couple days ago. Um, it changed my life. I wasn't looking for this. I wasn't looking for any of this. I really wasn't. Um, so it completely changed my life. Completely. And that's not everyone's experience. I would say I'm not the case study. If you're looking for like a general answer that would probably fit most people. Um, but in short, yeah, it changed my entire life. Yeah. I had some positive changes come with eclipse season, especially to my external life. Yeah, I think eclipse season can be very positive. I think all energy can be relatively positive, depending on how you look at it. Even if it makes things happen that are like stressful or chaotic or unpleasant or even perceived as bad, there's just a reason. There's a reason for it. You can always count on big change. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get ready. Let's get ready here. Just deciding what decks I want. Oh, okay. Not what I expected, but that actually might be kind of fun. Hold on. Come here, come here, come here. So, Star Codes Astral wants to come out for the elements. That's going to be interesting. Oh, my crown just started. Woo! Woo! Wow. Ouch. Okay. Wow. That really just started out of nowhere. Okay, so who are we doing first? Fire, water, air, or earth? Actually, no. Okay. Fire, water, air, earth for the weekly. It's a fight between air and earth, actually. Air. We're going with air. Okay, air signs. What's going on with air signs? So we're going to start with this one. Star Codes Astro Oracle. All the decks that I use are linked below. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What's going on for my air signs this week? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra. It's funny, they're actually saying water, like very specifically water. You keep dealing with water signs this week. Can't talk. Air signs. You could be dealing with water signs this week. You could be getting into your waters this week. That feels very cleansing to me. There's something else though, I can feel it. It's almost like the water is going to help keep you calm. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's almost like the water is going to help to keep you calm. Why do you need that? Any messages or insights from your air signs? I wouldn't think that would help keep you calm, but that's what's coming through. For air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Any messages or insights from my air signs this week? Taking these? No. Okay. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. They keep feeling water really strong. Really, really strong for my air signs. Some of you may experience a lot of emotions coming up through the heart, but it's like it's purifying. It almost feels like you could be going through purification by water, but at the same time, it's almost like temperance. Like it feels kind of soothing, which makes sense. I mean, if you're clearing and you're crying, you're actually soothing the soul. Let's see. Oh, well, that's why. Oh, that's why you got Pluto. With rebirth, 27 breaking down to a 9. So this is going to be the card for the week for my air signs. Oh, Pluto. I mean, it says rebirth, and maybe you could be experiencing it that way. I just feel like, I feel like almost being pushed through like a birth canal. I guess that is rebirth. Like I was going to say being pushed to the hole, but yeah. So I guess rebirth is kind of what you guys are going through right now. But I feel like it's here. I feel, it's like, yeah, it's starting to hurt. I feel like it's here though. I really feel like it's here. Like you might feel like your heart just goes, yeah, that's honestly what I'm getting with that. And with the energy of 9, with the 7 working through the 2, oh, we're talking about completions and endings with the vibration of 9. But the 7 working through the 2, divine guidance, working through relationships for completion. That is something my air signs will be experiencing this week. Pluto is obviously in Aquarius right now. It won't be like fully cemented into Aquarius until November. We're going to have a brief period in September, October when Pluto is going to be in Capricorn for the final time for, again, another couple hundred years. That feels, we don't need to get into that. I want to stay focused on air signs. Sorry. But yeah, air signs, I think you're going to be experiencing this through the relationships, but really through the heart. So there could be emotions that you're holding on to or that are still affecting you from relationships, not just romantic, but I'm actually getting strong family. I'm getting strong family for air signs. It's way more about family and emotional security and stability for my air signs that wants to be cleared out here. Some of you, you'll experience this through ancestral cycles. But yeah, I'm feeling strong family for my air signs there. There's also this feeling too of like the water feels almost like a saving grace, even though you're feeling it like, even though you're feeling it like that. Because I do feel a little bit of like tower kind of energy. I hate to say storm, but kind of a little bit that I think is catalyzing this for you. So there may be something going on with your family relationships or changes in your family, which we actually talked about that already with the full moon Libra. That is totally happening with the full moon Libra. I know that's not in like, if you look at the major planets, you won't see that astrologically, but I'm telling you, it's there. If you look at asteroids, you'll see it. It's there. But that's what I'm getting from my air signs. That's what I'm getting from air signs. Let's go ahead and pull from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. I did write down the timestamp, right? Okay, good. I did. Okay, good. Oh, air signs. Gemini, Libra, Gemini, Libra. Man, the heart space is like, yeah, there's a lot of energy going through the heart for you guys. One more. Okay. For Gemini, I got like chills all the way down my back. Some of you, this could also come with some activations. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Memories. Oh, memories. Are we remembering things? Some of you are going to get clarity as to why you've felt a certain way about certain bio family members. You could even be having dreams about them, and even chosen family. Like, especially, like, remember I was getting before, it's like something feels off, something feels off, something feels off. You're going to get a lot of clarity as to why that is, whether it's actually happening in the present reality or it's more of like a distant memory of like, oh, is this some weird karmic thing? Is this some weird remembrance? Yeah, exactly. It's like, I feel like you did this to me. I know you didn't, but I feel like you really did do this to me. It's like, interesting. That's so not for most of you, but some of you I think will definitely experience that. Wow. It's almost like even more clarity as to why they're even in your life, or why they're even in your life. Interesting. Bat comes out for me when we're going through transitions, like from dark to light to dark, or through portals, right? Like birth canal energy, which here you are. But it comes through when we're going through periods of metamorphosis and transformations. And can we see in the dark? Can we see what is actually going on while we're in the midst of this chaos? I think you can. You might not at first, but I think you can. They keep saying it's about the sight with this. It's about the sight. Can you see the truth through the illusions? Can you see truth through the chaos? Can you see the truth through the smoke of what is breaking apart? Anything else from my air signs? Oh my God, air signs. You guys are in for a very, very spiritual week. Cosmic egg, crown chakra coming out here. Crown chakra, the cosmic egg, comes out typically when we're going through like a climax of spiritual growth or some sort of expansion, which is exactly what I was feeling with you. I was feeling it more in the heart. Some of you may experience it more in like the consciousness or upper chakras, but it just feels excuse me. This is about clarity that's coming with all the shedding I was talking about, so you can build your bridge. It just feels like it's really hitting you. It was very like, whoa. And I keep getting family. I keep getting it centered around family and probably giving you even more insight onto yourself from whatever has been happening with family relationships, and especially changes that are in the midst. And I keep getting the feelings. It's always keeps coming back to the feelings that you have certain family members, chosen or bio. Okay. But I do feel more bio. Any other messages or insights for my air signs? Jeez. And there's the heart. I was like, and when the cosmic egg came out, I was like, okay. I was like, but the heart, I know I feel the heart. Well, there it is. Golden egg. This is the heart chakra card in this deck. You know why this is here. That was like one of the first things that came through for you in the channelings. You know why that's here. Whew. Oh, okay. I'm like overwhelmed in your energy. I feel like I'm getting exhausted. Anything else for my air signs? Ooh, the card of magic. Card of magic. This is also a card of alchemy, magician, transmutation. The crow is also a divine messenger, but it's literally the card of magic. Okay. This feels like your magic, actually. The crow may be coming up for you recently. Will. I think most of you, it will. Maybe it hasn't happened yet. Some of you it has, but I feel like most of you who are resonating with this, it hasn't hit you yet, because it's actually a part of you that hasn't been able to be accessed yet. That will when all of this starts to take place. Your ability to be the magician. your ability to be the magician, your ability to transmute as well. It's starting to feel very scorpionic. Some of you could have Scorpio in your chart, or you could be you could spend time with a lot of Scorpios, or a lot of Scorpios in your family. Something about Scorpio. Yeah, it's like this is going to be new. This is going to be a new type of magic for you. Some of you may interpret it as shadowy, whether you want to label it shadowy or not. It's funny. That's like very Scorpio. What does it mean to transmute something? It's to take something, right? Take an energy in the state that it's in, or a memory or an emotion, and devour it and turn it into something else. That's just nature. Some people will say that's dark. Like sexual magic is basically that. Sexual magic is basically devouring an energy and then changing it. And then, right? And then letting it come up and out. This is a lot of messages today. Some of you who are in that realm, that boat of like, oh, is this dark? Is this shadowy? Like, what is this? You can perceive it as primordial. Some of you, it's definitely a primordial source of magic. But also it is just nature. It is just nature. So some of you are going to go through a shift in your own belief system about that, about what is dark and what is not, because everything just is. There's a lot like coming up through about like primordial earthy magic coming through, which feels really good actually. But yeah, this is new. This is new for my air signs. All right. Anything else for my air signs? Ooh. I mean, air signs, it's going to be like a very empowering week. This is going to feel very empowering by the end of it, and very just like, whoa, who am I now? Even if it has a little bit of chaos, but it's pretty magical. Now we have the whale and snake, which goes also with the point I was making. So whale is very Piscean to me. I also look at this as like ancestral council like energy. But the whale is about the depths of the subconscious, the depths of the soul, and what has been hiding there, what's been waiting to be acknowledged. And then we have, no, you didn't miss water. This is the first element I'm doing, which is air. And then here's snake. Snake comes out when we're tapping into untapped potential, and you're tapping into untapped magic within yourself. Okay. And some of you, this doesn't have to be so mystical either, for anybody who's like not really like into the whole mystical way of existence, but you're open-minded. This could even come through by like being a scribe. This could come through by even being a scribe, or getting into writing, or record keeping. That feels more like maybe like a historical something, hobby, or what have you. Think scribe, record keeping, even sciences. For those of you where you're not really a mystic, but you're just open-minded, okay? Realizing that you do have that skill set and you can use that moving forward, and you're tapping into it in a way that you haven't tapped into it before, okay? Wow. Overall, we have horse, love horse. She is the master of earth in this deck. I say she because she's very feminine to me. She doesn't have to be though. Obviously, we all have masculine, feminine, but she's very capable. She's a multitasker, but she has grace. She has humility. She also has a sense of freedom and independence. She can basically do it all and make it look easy. I just feel like that's speaking to your personal evolution, honestly. It's like, I feel like it's really just coming out to say mastery. I'm hearing Saturn with that. Yeah, I'm hearing Saturn with that. Yeah, I feel like it's really just speaking to mastery. Okay. Let's pull some tarot cards. The Devil and the Emperor wanted to fly out. Power dynamics, anybody? Wow, okay. Literally, the Emperor keeps trying to fall out. Any other messages or insights from my air signs? Any other messages or insights from my air signs for this week? I really got to keep watching the time. I can't believe we're an hour and a half in here. Any other messages or insights for my air signs? Okay. They're bringing me back to the whale and the snake. remember what I was saying before in the collective reading where you might feel called to go somewhere, like take a little sojourn vacation or actually move somewhere. For my air signs who get that feeling, there's like something about like going to a place that you're called to that suddenly you can finally do what you've been struggling to do. Like in the creative realm or the writing realm, like it suddenly like a switch is flipped. Like why is it easy for me to do this here but not where I live? Like that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting for some of my air signs. So some of you might go somewhere on a vacation just to like because you just feel like you're supposed to, and you might find yourself moving there, and that might have to do with your astrocartography. So excuse me. So check your astrocartography if that is the case. Okay. Any messages or insights from my air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Wheel of Fortune. So change, right? Landing on the cosmic egg. Not surprised Wheel of Fortune is out here. I feel like that's really making things pop. Where's the family though? I bet the family stuff is about to come out because I was like, wait, I don't see I was feeling family and now I don't see it. Like that's so weird. So maybe it's about to come out soon. Golden egg, we have sun and reverse. This has been waiting to pop. It's like your heart's been waiting to explode for a while to clear, to just clear, but also to receive, to clear, to receive. Thank you. To be open, to clear, so you can actually receive. Receive the experience, right? Like the bridge going from here to here, right? Tell me more about golden egg, actually. Tell me more about golden egg from my air signs. Interesting. Then we get the Knight of Wands on the golden egg. That feels like freedom to me. That totally feels like freedom to me. I'm getting a little bit of that family vibe again. Going through this heart activation or opening, going through this transition and liberation of self, of skills, your magic, whatever word you want to put on there. I feel like it does require almost like letting out your inner teenager. I know how that sounds, but it's just how it's coming through too. Like something about that in terms of the experiences you had with family kept this aspect in check. And it's like, let's unlock that. Let's unlock that. Let's make love to life. Let's unlock that. Anything else from my air signs? Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Interesting. So now we have the Three of Cups on Whale and Snake. This is what I'm saying about the energies that we're in. It's like, yeah, it might be really hard at first or might feel very intense or overwhelming to be like, I need to be done with the shedding. I want to be done with the shedding. And I want to give myself permission to move across the bridge. It might be hard initially, but again, the more you do it, the more you build the bridge, the more you follow your soul, your intuition, all the things, it's going to lead to happy, happy times. And that's where you can go here, air signs. That's where you can go. But it is about embodying that, embracing that, accepting that piece of you. It's your skills. I feel like this is literally your skills. And for some of you, it's your magic. And again, opening the heart is part of this too. So multifaceted, but, and I think everyone's going to have something along this line. Any other messages or insights from my air signs? We got to move on. we got to get this reading moving. Let's see. Oh, I wondered. Hold on. I'll show you guys in a second. Anything else from my air signs? Eight of Cups and the Two of Cups landing on the Crow. When you let go of that, of the Six of Cups, the 8 and the 2, 8 minus 2 is 6. You let go of the Six of Cups, patterns, past life shit, karmic shit, cycles, wounds, insecurities, all of that, and you embrace yourself. This is where you're going to end up. That's where you're going to end up. Again, Winds of change are at play here. Some of you, this may also come with some kind of friendship or relationship of some kind. Um, Regardless of whatever kind of relationship it is, it feels very kindred. It feels very family, right? Which also makes sense if you're also working through some like family things to liberate yourself in this way. It also makes sense that proper family would also come into play as well. It doesn't have to happen for a lot of you guys. I'm just saying it's very possible, especially with the energies that we have with the full moon Libra, bringing in spiritual relationships for people, or relationships that speak to your soul. Okay. Overall, we do have the King of Wands, ooh, and the Four of Wands. Air signs, I'm loving this. I am so loving this for you. Strong fire now coming in. It's funny because remember what I was getting about water? You got a lot of water here. All right, look at what the water is bringing you. The water is soothing you. It is healing you. It is liberating you. It's opening for you. But it's also the fire that comes in that's also getting you to point B over here. Okay. A lot of confidence, a lot of focus with making this choice. Nice. Very nice, air signs. Very nice. All right, let's move on. Let's see who's going next. Oh, Earth. Okay. Didn't even have to look at my paper. Earth, you're next. Where are we? Okay. Earth signs. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Earth sign, something that's already coming in. There's a couple things coming in. How do I want to say this? Accepting that stability for you might require a path that you did not anticipate. That you didn't anticipate. Something feels a little like, oh, okay, now I get there. It's like, I feel like there's going to be a requiring of letting go of being attached to specific outcomes and maybe a little bit of control. It's really just what's coming through. And I don't have any cards for you. It's just what I'm channeling. It's just what I'm feeling. That feels very difficult. I'm also feeling some heart energy with you there too. Can you really let go of what your expectations? Can you really let go of your expectations when it comes to stability? Your earth signs, you're all about stability. You guys are the kings and queens of, we're going to make sure we have our nest egg. We're going to make sure we build things right. We're going to make sure we have our resources. We're going to keep shit in line and keep shit going. And we're always going to have stability. Like, that is earth signs. I feel the need to be adaptable. I feel the need to be patient. I feel the need to just allow things to not be exactly what you expected or how you wanted. And I think you'll be happy you did, because it will eventually get you what you want, what you need, actually, more than what you want, what you need. And I think you'll be happy you did. And I think if you fight it, I think you're gonna just circle. I think you're just gonna be doing this a lot. Okay. It's just what I'm feeling. I could be wrong, but it's just what I'm feeling. Any messages or insights from my earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Like, gotta be willing to let go. Let go. Walk into the unknown a little bit. See what life gives you. Oh, can you let go? Can you let go? Can you let go? Earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Interesting. So conjunction came out in reverse for you, which is really weird. I don't read these in reverse, but it wanted to fly out in reverse. 51 breaking down to a 6. So conjunctions are normally really beautiful. Conjunctions are supportive. Excuse me. it's like taking two different energies and they suddenly know how to work together, right? It's things are flowing, things are working. But this wanted to come out reverse for you. I'm not saying things are not going to work for you. That's not what I'm saying. It's almost like not allowing for energies that want to flow together to flow together. Again, I just keep getting resistance and not willing to let go, not willing to remove yourself, unattach yourself from expectations and results. Oh, they said results and results. That's really what I'm getting here. Almost like learning to be a mutable sign, which Virgo is mutable, but it's like, it's interesting, elements versus, right? But really embrace what it means to be a mutable sign right now. Virgos, you probably have the easier time with this versus Taurus and Capricorn. But allow the energies that want to work with you, work with you. Work with what you have right now. Don't get, I almost did this, like I got my glasses on. Don't get fixated on that something's not quite how you wanted it. Or you're trying to do this, but you just can't quite make it work. Or you know what I mean? If energies want to come in to work with you in the present moment, work with them. See what happens, even if it's not in your plan, right? Even if it kind of like takes you out of your norm, like let that just be. Let that just be. Let's pull some animals for you. Any messages or insights from earth signs? Immutable but fixed also, so it's always a balancing act. Yeah, it's funny. I notice as the Tauruses are commenting a lot on their Taurus placement of all the signs, which again, Taurus is fixed, right? It's funny. It's just funny. Any messages or insights for my earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Okay. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Baby lamb. I love the lamb. Such a sweet energy. Lamb can be seen in a lot of different lenses. I usually see this as like baby energy, like green behind the ears almost, like very, very new at something. I'm also getting very exposed. I think this is also why this has been coming up for you, of like, just allow, just allow, just allow, because there's a vulnerability that I'm getting with you guys with the lamb. Oh, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a sense of vulnerability and functioning in a way that you're not used to functioning, or allowing for things to happen that just is really hard for you to do. Okay, that's what I'm getting here. That's what I'm getting with the lamb. It's a really nice, it's a really beautiful energy though, because it's very pure. It's very pure. It's very new. It's just this recognition of I'm in different territory and I need to navigate this differently, but it makes you very uncomfortable. It's like, what are the rules? Where is the manual? It's got a little bit of that. Oh, I gotta stop. All right. Some of you are going through some upgrades. Oh, earth signs. Some of you are really sensitive right now. For those of you going through like any upgrades or activations or anything like that, anything that makes you very sensitive in your energy, honor it. Because I keep getting this vulnerable, exposed feeling with you with the lamb. And that's because some of you are literally energetically vulnerable right now. So I think you really should be mutable. You really should be flowing with what is right moment to moment, and stop getting fixated on the results or expectations of other things in your life. Because I'm also getting this too, for like some of you almost like can't show up in the way you want to, like for work or for friends or projects or whatever. Just let it be that. Okay? Just let it be that. Anything else from my earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Ooh, wait. What is this? Is this even you? Wait a minute. I think this is your frustration. This is your frustration. Yeah, earth signs. It's seeming like whatever you're detaching from over here is about control. That's what that feels like to me. We have cheetah and panther. very fiery, very intense energies. Cheetah to me is Eight of Wands. Panther to me is a catharsis. So Panther is also a very strong feminine wisdom energy. And the last few times that Panthers come out in readings, it's felt like sacred rage in a way. I, yeah, Earth signs. I feel like a lot of you who are still getting away from that, like detaching from that, it's about control. Okay. I can feel this piece of you that's so frustrated because you just want to do things the way you want to do them. The way they should be done. the way I just heard. The way they should be done. Um, let that clear. Because the part of you, and this is not gonna be for everybody, but this is clearly a very important message for Earth signs who need this. The part of you that's trying to control, it's like, oh, how do I want to say this? It's like when that part of you doesn't get to have control, it gets angry. But that tells me there's anger behind it, right? Anglo, I'm not doing personals. This is a weekly. I'm not doing personals. Thanks. So, Earth signs, allow that. Allow that to like shed. Allow yourself to like really disconnect. Like not disconnect. That's not the right word. But yeah, it's really intense. It's really overwhelming. And you're frustrated, and I get it. I get it. But this needs to take place. Some of you, this may mirror out into your reality. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. Sorry, I had to take care of that. Anyway, some of you, this might mirror back out into your reality in the form of a confrontation or relationship. Because it's almost like the part of you that wants to control is like there's anger there, but behind anger is pain, and behind anger is grief. But it might come up like as somebody who's like got like anger towards you or who's like taking stuff out on you. Also, why I want to say honor what you need right now, take care of what you need for yourself right now, and don't worry about all the other external things that are really not even in your control in the first place, right? Interesting. Let's see what else wants to come out for you guys. Oh! It landed on Lamb. You know why this is here. You know it is. Who is spamming? Don't worry, I put them on timeout. You know, somebody they call it timeout. They're like, I don't know, that made me feel very mom like all of a sudden. I put them on timeout. Anyway, sorry. You know why the octopus is here. Interesting. Like the reversals are wanting to come out for you guys too. Yeah, getting away from that sense of control, that sense of I want to have my hands on this and I want to be able to do this. And like for some of you, it's even like a manipulative sort of energy. Like if I can manipulate things this way, if I can manipulate this person this way, even if you don't think about it like that. Like I'm not saying you guys are like manipulative bad people. I'm not saying that. It's this desire to just control for safety. And if you don't get that, it's like the pain and the anger come up. Some of you, this also comes up in the form of anxiety. We're going to a whole other realm. We're going into a whole other realm here, guys. Some of you, whether you realize it or not, I think the awareness is coming up here. That you actually do certain things because you're anxious. And they could be everyday things. Things that you don't even, I keep getting, it's like it's been so embedded, it's like you don't consciously think about. Like think about like habits you've developed over the years or that have gotten stronger during years where you've been really anxious, right? And they could be behaviors that can give you that sense of control, like cleaning. Cleaning is one. Doing things for other people is one. OCD, yeah, basically. Addictive behaviors, right? Like substance abuse or over shopping, overeating, overdoing. It's are you like it's really coming from an anxious place, which is really coming from a place of hurt, which is really coming from a place of anger, right? So for my earth sign, some of you, this is like this might even be going back to okay, we'll get there. Not just childhood, but ancestral patterning and utero. Okay. Like it's this very deeply embedded feeling of if I can't control, my life is in danger. If I can't control, my life is in danger. That's how that feels to me. I know that sounds heavy, but let's keep going. Any other messages or insights for my earth signs? Yeah, we got 2 more elements to do too. Ah, beautiful. Break through that shit. Break away from that shit with Elephant. That's what this card is about. This card is about breaking through obstacles, clearing that shit away. Some of you could work with Ganesh, or some of you could be resonating with Ganesh. Elephants could be coming up. There's also wisdom there, but this card literally speaks of like, no, we're breaking away. We're breaking away. We're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore. So again, a lot of you may feel this need to like focus on the external, whether it's work or addictions or whatever it is, right? But that's really because you're trying to control. And right now you're trying to dismantle that pattern of control. Makes sense? So the more it's trying to dismantle, the more you may feel like you need to engage in it. But there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, because you're parting ways with it. This is a window to part ways with it. Right? Right. Overall, we have Tiger. I like that this is here. My brain just went, well, that's how it works. That's how energy works, man. Now we have Tiger. Queen of Wands energy. This is my Queen of Wands card, but Tiger is actually a card of awakening, to be honest with you. Explicitly in this deck, it speaks to, spiritual awakening and coming into your own power. Very, very fierce energy, very sexual energy there too. Working on anxiety and depression. Yeah, that totally aligns here. So earth signs, this is some deep cleaning. Like I said, lamb is baby. Lamb is baby energy. And some of you guys got to go back that far. Or again, I feel like it's a natural process either way. But honor the process. Honor the process, and know if you start getting really freaked out about things that you're used to controlling or feeling like aspects of your life are out of control. Oh, thank you. Some of you are going to realize that aspects of your life, you've felt like you've had a hard time keeping them in check, like keeping them in check, keeping them in line. That's been an illusion. They've always been in line. But your anxiety to control makes you think that you need to keep them in line, but really they always have been. Right? That's an anxiety control thing. That's also a lack of trust and faith in the self kind of a thing. I'm baby Kirby mean. Yeah. So let's move into tarot cards. I really didn't mean for this video to be this long. Oh shit, it's almost 1 o'clock. Crap. Okay. I need to get faster because I actually have a phone call that I need to be ready for and available for. Any other messages or insights from my earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Oh. Wow. Okay. So Panther and Cheetah, we have 3 of Cups in reverse. This is not feeling emotionally supported in life. This is also not feeling emotionally supported with people that you're around or people that are around you. So some of you, this is about social anxiety. Some of you, this is about control within your relationships or people who have lashed out at you, people that you wanted to trust and then couldn't. But it's, again, I'm getting devouring that I got with air signs, being a little bit devouring energy there. It's part of the pattern. It's part of what you're breaking away from, including the memories. Now with Lamb and Octopus, we got Wheel of Fortune and the Lovers. I like this. Again, changes here. Very in line with the collective energy, but with Lovers, that's about balance. Lovers is also about making choices that are aligned to your soul. Even divinely guided. For some of you, this could even be about divinely guided relationships, but it just feels like putting yourself into a state of harmonizing with your soul, not your trauma, not the patterns, not the learned behavior, right? Any other messages or insights from my earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Ooh, yeah. On the elephant, we have Page of Wands. That's excitement, that's adventure. Sometimes it's also seen as good news. So there could definitely be like a person in your reality or coming into your reality that could be assisting you with this, but this is all your own work, right? People don't do our work for us. They may assist us, they may hold space for us, but we do our own work. Somehow I put the lovers on elephant for some reason, but this definitely feels like liberating the excited inner child that wants to go play and have fun. The possibility of new adventure. Anything else from my earth signs? Any other messages or insights from my earth signs? Oh. Okay. It's interesting where the reversals landed and where the other one and where the non-reversals landed. So on Cheetah and Panther, I keep doing that like I have my glasses on. Cheetah and Panther, we have the Three of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse. With the Ace of Swords in reverse, I'm getting the lies and illusions. The lies and illusions that fuel that anxiety, that fuel that need for control, right? It's like, where is that really coming from? It's coming from these experiences. It's coming from these patterns, but that's why the Ace of Swords is in reverse. It's like, it's acting on things that aren't really real. Like the example that I gave about like, you've been feeling like, trying to keep aspects of your life on point or functioning, but always feeling like they're not, or having anxiety about it. They've always been fine, but the illusion is that they're not fine, right? It's that same thing. It's the illusion of I am not safe, I need to control, but no, you are safe and you don't need to control, right? And then we have the 10 of Cups with the Page of Wands and Elephant. I do feel that I wouldn't be surprised if you guys get a friend or a coworker or some kind of new relationship that comes in and just gets you excited. And it's like, it just brings out that fun, frolicky inner child. But Page of Wands, the 10 of Cups, I mean, you guys know where that's leading to. It's leading to happy, happy times, happy family, happy life, happy home, right? You can have that. You can experience that. And you don't have to be anxious. You don't have to control. My phone went crazy. It's probably a sign that I've been on too long. Overall, we have 4 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, my card of innocence. My card of innocence. You're recapturing your innocence. Inner sense. You're recapturing your innocence, your inner sense of self. You're recapturing it. You're allowing it to be. You're not allowing it to be under the illusion that you're not safe or that things are not okay, because they are okay and you're okay. And that's what you're going to be going through this week. Okay? All right. Moving on. Now I feel like I'm racing against the clock a little bit. Okay. Water or fire? It's interesting, those are the last 2 elements. We're going to do water. What's interesting with water, I heard Aquarius, which Pluto is in Aquarius. But some of you could have strong aqua placements. Or if you have aqua placements, they could be activated by Pluto at this time. Could be dealing with an aqua, etc. You know how this works. All right, water signs. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Actually, I gotta adjust my feet. Hold on. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay. Okay, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Ooh. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You've emerged from the cave. I'm feeling that. Some of you could have been in hermit mode. We are officially going from winter to spring, so that also can speak to that, but it feels like you've emerged from the cave. Any messages or insights from my water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, for this week? It has that feeling of Three of Wands, which actually is kind of interesting, right? Like when you look at the Three of Wands, it's like it's someone's back and they're like standing on a shore and they're looking out at the horizon, looking at their ships coming in, but you don't really know what's behind them. You don't know what their back is turned to. I feel like you're at the Three of Wands this week, or you're getting to the Three of Wands, and it feels like what's behind you is a cave that you've been sitting in, or meditating in, or bubbling in. It's like that's kind of what it feels like to me. It's very interesting. Like you have literally reached this horizon point, and you know it. Some of you are definitely anticipating something, but it's very interesting. It's very interesting. Am I taking this? Yes. Ooh. Neptune, that's kind of a fun one to get. 26 breaking down to an 8. We are in a year 8 vibration. This is the 6 working through the 2. Oh, water signs. Oh, this is gonna be a fun. This is gonna be a nice one. I've like my belly got all like tingly. You're harmonizing or harmonized. You're harmonized. It's almost like you're in this state of just, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe this feeling. I guess you could experience it as being one with the I am. It feels like you're reverberating. It feels like you have harmonized something, but it's like you've finished that process and now you're just sitting on the beach. And you're just present and you're enjoying and you know things are coming and you're just enjoying. That's what I'm getting with you. But we do have Neptune here for my water signs with vision. So you could actually be going through a lot as far as like your intuition is concerned, your dream time is concerned, inspiration, but it feels like you're just in flow and you're harmonized. I like it for you. It feels very good for you. Okay. All right, water signs. Buzzing. I heard buzzing. It's like, yeah, it's like you're buzzing. I wonder if people sense that. I feel like you're, it's like, I keep seeing you on a beach, like after you've exited a cave. I feel like you're alone on the beach. I feel like you're alone on the beach. But you're just there. You're just there. I do feel like if people get around you around this time, they can feel you're buzzing. They might react very, the varieties of reactions may be exponential as far as like the varieties of reactions are concerned. A lot of you have learned how to find the calm, the emotional calm, getting King of Cups with that. Very nice. Yeah, you're just kind of there. Okay. One more. I got 2 hours. All right. For water signs. Am I taking these? No. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Look at you. Buffalo. Buffalo is a card of tower, changes. But you can see how calm the buffalo is. It's about having that grace and flow through times of chaos. Troll alert. What? Okay. Anyway. So yeah, things may be happening around you, but I feel like you're just you're okay. I just feel like you're flowing with it. I feel like you're flowing with it. I think you know it's still bringing in good things. Okay. Tell me more about water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio for this week. Yeah, I keep getting the 3 of Wands. I feel like you're moving from a 2 to a 3. I feel like you're moving from 2 of Wands to 3 of Wands. I feel like some of you have made some like choices recently, or this week you're going to be faced with that. Like make a choice now, and then I feel like you might even do it before the full moon Libra. And that's going to put you at the 3. It's almost going to give you relief. If any of you have been struggling with making certain decisions, or you've been feeling like you've been at a crossroads, making the choice will bring relief. Making the choice will bring immense relief. And I'm not going to say don't worry about the outcome, but if you have to make a choice, you have to make a choice. And there's something about it being decided, whether you were forced to or like you felt good about it, that opens things up for you. That I think allows you to move into the 3 of Wands. Any other messages or insights for water signs? Ooh, look at all the purple and black and white going on for my water signs. We have buffalo and black egg. Black egg is the throat chakra, communication. Mm. Ooh, okay. Some of you, this is definitely voice activation. Okay. But I am also getting, you've made choices to have certain conversations. It does feel like closing things out. And it's interesting because a lot of the energy we've already tuned into so far has been very much like follow the self and follow your guidance and things will come to you. I do feel like for you water signs, there's been a little bit of, okay, I do need to be proactive about this. Okay, I do need to push and be active here. Like you've had to be more masculine than other elements. Or you will have to this week is what this feels like. I just with the black egg, I feel this saying what hasn't been said is what I'm feeling there. Saying what hasn't been said. And I think that's going to push you to the 3. Any other messages or insights for water signs? Yeah. Bear. Coming out of the cave, coming out of hibernation. Bear is a card of recovery, but it's also a card of coming out of recovery. And that's exactly where I was feeling you were at. Yeah, it's like you're coming out of the cave, again, needing to be a little proactive, and making certain choices. And yeah, and I definitely feel this like saying the things that haven't been said to whoever you need to say it to, even if you're just saying it to yourself, and that's gonna put you in the 3 of Wands energy. Interesting. And on the bottom we have Crow. The card of magic. So if you have any air in your chart, they got Crow, and Crow is very significant in their chart. But Crow is the card of magic, metamorphosis, transformation, magician energy coming out here. Yeah. Why is the Crow here for you though, specifically? I actually feel divine messenger with Crow with you is actually what I feel. I feel like you may, when you're in the cave and in this transition of saying the thing that needs to be said, I feel like you're getting like psychic nudges, is what I'm getting. Like psychic nudges to say the thing that needs to be said or hasn't been said, and that helps to change your situation. It helps to put you in the 3, but it also may change some of your relationships. And it will be liberating for you, even if it's anxiety inducing at first. Okay, moving on to tarot. Checking the time. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay. Any other messages or insights for water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Yeah, they keep bringing me back here. You're getting psychic nudges. You're getting spiritual nudges. Maybe be coming through in dreams. And especially if any of you have, I'm getting a little 7 of Cups energy. This feels old. If you've been confused again about your path or certain people, the clarity is here now. And you need to use your voice. You need to, this is very clear. You need to use your voice. Any messages or insights from my water signs? Everyone's getting this card. Not surprised. Again, very collective of where we're at. Wheel of Fortune. Change. Change is here. We knew that. Shifting is here. Timeline shifting is here. Any other messages or insights from our water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Oh, you need to use your voice. Queen of Swords. No one else has had the Queen of Swords yet. Libra energy, the full moon Libra, again, is like right around the corner. It's next week. While you've been in the cave, you've definitely been getting very clear on yourself and clear on some things, but I really feel like it's more about the voice, that you need to use the voice and say what needs to be said, say what hasn't been said. In effect, using the sword of truth, the Ace of Swords, I keep feeling this is going to impact your relationships, like very specifically impacting your relationships. But it's going to put you at the 3 of Wands. You're essentially solidifying a timeline for yourself. Yeah, you're essentially solidifying a timeline for yourself while also activating and exercising your voice in ways that you really have needed to learn. Okay. Ooh, uh-huh. Black egg. This landed on the black egg, 9 of Wands. Just as I was saying, like, about the throat. This is also a wounded warrior card for me, but it's also a card of like putting in so much effort and struggle and things not being easy. I keep getting that around your the way you communicate. Just, yeah, it's like, just say what needs to be said. Just say the thing you haven't said. Just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Anything else for my water signs? Queen of Swords and the Page of Wands. This is going to bring just more excitement into your life because it's literally putting you in a place where you're not going to be stuck. You're not going to be between here and between there. You're making a choice, decisive action along with that choice, and it's allowing the space in the room for things to come in. It's allowing the space in the room for new horizons, adventure, the excitement of the unknown, and you know that that's what's best for you. Because here's the other thing too. It's like some of you may also been getting caught up in like, well, oh, interesting. This fell out. I'm not taking it because I was cutting the deck. The Page of Swords and Emperor was followed out here. That feels like some energy some of you guys may be dealing with. Anyway, some of you may have been struggling with, well, what's the right choice? What's the right choice? What's the right choice? Make a choice and it will lead you somewhere, and you will learn something. You will experience something. You're not going to miss out on things that are meant for you as long as you like keep going. You know what I mean? Anyway, any other messages or insights for water signs? Yeah, beautiful. 9 of Wands and the Chariot. Some of you have felt really held back from having progression, but again, going from the 2 to the 3, you've needed to make solid choices and exercise your voice. Say the thing that's not being said that will put you in the Chariot. Some of you, this is also actually about a move, like being honest with yourself about like moving or wanting to move or wanting to travel, just making certain moves in your life, and you just haven't like said it. Any other messages or insights for water signs? On the bottom, we have Knight of Pentacles, accountability and integrity and showing up. Interesting. 3 of Pentacles. Ooh, the Fool. Oh my. And the King and Queen of Wands. Well, this screams collaboration, doesn't it? But I feel like it's you definitely showing up for yourself, but it's also you showing up to at least put energy into something, into making a choice to solidify some sort of reality or timeline that you can build on. That you can actually like, okay, I've made this choice, this is my path, I can actually put something in the ground here, versus like staring at that patch of land and that patch of land and being like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Because if you stay stuck at the 2 of Wands and you're looking at where you can put your seeds and you're not putting seeds anywhere, guess what? Nothing's going to grow, right? If you have 2 farms indicating 2 paths and you're not choosing, you're not putting seeds anywhere. But if you at least make a choice, you can at least put seeds in the ground and get something for it. So some of you, this can be about collaborating with somebody where you probably have something in alignment as far as your own like motivations and passions are concerned. But I feel like for the most part, this is about you showing up for yourself. Honestly, especially with the Fool card being there. It does feel like a risk, but it's like, oh, I just got dizzy. If you want something to grow, you got to choose the land you're going to put seeds on. You can't just stare at it and hope it'll just happen, right? But using your voice is key. Using your voice is key to that. Okay? All right, let's move on to fire before I run out of time. Okay. Whew, my crown was really like, oh, about that one. Okay. Fire signs, fire signs, fire signs, fire signs. Oh, grab the wrong deck. I was so like, whoa, I grabbed the wrong one. Aries, Leo, Sag. Some of you may resonate with monkeys. Monkeys just came through. Monkeys are playful. Monkeys very playful energy, but it's like, oh, how strange. Monkey. Okay, monkeys. Aries, Aries, Leo, Sag for this week. Aries, Leo, Sag. They keep showing me monkeys that like they're not stopping. It's kind of distracting. Fire signs. Any messages or insights for my fire signs for this week? Aries, Leo, Sag. Yeah, they can't get off the monkeys. Okay, so clearly something about playfulness, about play. Yeah, I'm on the last element. Aries, Leo, Sag. What you guys got too? Ooh. Pluto and Jupiter. So air signs had Pluto as well. That is quite the combination to be coming out here. When Jupiter moves into Gemini on May 25th, that last week of May, Jupiter will be trine Pluto. Okay. Or is it more June? Actually, hold on a second. Wait. No, it's in May. I think it's in May. Do I have it up here? Hold on. Jupiter trine Pluto. Where are you? June 2nd. June 2nd? God, I'm so, even with my contacts on, I'm so blind. I'm pretty sure this says June. Early June. Jupiter will be trine Pluto. And you do have the 2s here really standing out, fire signs. 23 breaking down to a 5. The 5 vibration is about freedom and change and breaking away. 27, 9 completions here. Very powerful planets to come out for my fire signs. Yeah, this feels like a total breakaway. This feels like really letting your true desire. It's almost like the id. I'm getting like id, like inner desires. The ego versus the id. Letting your id take the reins for a bit. I feel like this is speaking to fire signs that have been very like rigid with themselves is what I'm getting. I've been very like contained and like not really showing my true self, but like just needing to like give the representative that's been necessary. That's honestly what I'm getting from my fire signs. Obviously it's not for everybody. But that's what I'm getting. And where you're finally like, I'm just gonna let it hang out. I'm putting my inner desires first. That's what I'm getting from my fire signs. And something about what's going on this week may play a role. Obviously for the next few months, as I already said in the astrology channeling portion, but that Jupiter trine Pluto conjunction really stuck out to me. So something in June might come up as it relates to this week. So something to keep that in mind. All right. Moving on to the animals. Any messages or insights from fire signs for this week? Any messages or insights from fire signs for this week? One more. Lamb. Who else got lamb? Earth. Earth also had lamb. Do you have any earth placements? I would definitely check that out too. But lamb is baby energy. It's renewed energy. Again, I feel like you're letting your id come out and play. And our id, our inner desires, for the most part, I would say it's just a very authentic. It's the authentic parts of ourselves, whether that's shadowy or not. But I feel like for you, it's way more inner childlike. Like your purest form of inner childness is trying to come out and play and frolic. They keep showing me monkeys. Anything else from my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. It also makes me wonder too, like, because I just heard child to child, like other people's inner children. Like, if you haven't allowed your inner child to play Have you even seen other people's inner children, or have you ever like connected to their inner children? Have your inner children ever played together? Probably not. But that's interesting how that wanted to come through. Any other messages or insights for my fire signs? Fire signs, you guys got a pretty nice reading. Firefly coming out here. Firefly is a spark and burst of energy and momentum. It's usually like a muse-like energy. It's something that in the book it explicitly says like capitalize on it. Capitalize on it because it's not always going to be there. Yeah, it's like for whatever's going on this week, your inner child is like, I'm taking over. I don't know how long I can take over, but I'm taking over. Because there's fun to be had. I like this for you. Something feels just very like excited within you too. Anything else for my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. It's getting very giddy. Oh, the otter. Okay, fire signs. You might have the best reading out of everybody this week. Lamb, Firefly, and Otter. Otter is the card of 6 of Cups, 2 of Cups lovers. It's all about open, give and take relationships. Very healthy, very unconditionally loving relationships of all kinds. Family, friends, etc. Yeah. Oh, it's like so beautiful. Some of you, this could actually be an activation that's happening because you're dealing with another person. And I did get the child-to-child thing. So for some of you, it's like someone's inner child or just pure essence is helping your inner child come out and play like monkeys. The monkeys thing is cracking me up. I picked up the deck and a card fell and revealed the swan. The swan is a sense of wholeness within the self, an experience of wholeness within the self. Also can speak to relationships as well. Interesting that that fell out that way. We'll see if it comes out. Anything else for my fire signs? Anything else for my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Yeah, I feel like your inner child is being activated and coming out. Like, and literally getting in the driver's seat and just taking over. Like enough work, enough rigidity, enough control. It's time to play. It's time to be wild. Now we have Buffalo with Firefly. This totally feels like some sort of catalyst, fire signs. It's absolutely a catalyst. It could be event, not a person, but I keep getting this child-to-child energy. So I feel like most of you, it's a person. It could literally be a family member. It could literally be a coworker. It could even just be an earth angel who just says hi on the street, you know? But it really brings your inner child up and out and is like, we are not being held back anymore. We're not. Overall, we do have the Phoenix, root chakra, Phoenix rising, liberation, coming out. I'm coming out. And the stingray. I love what the stingray is here. Stingrays are primordial magic energy. I did associate it with divine masculine energy for quite a while, but it has become my King of Cups. It's having emotional stability and security. But it's nice because having that here would actually support your inner child to be safe to play. Like having enough sense of safety within the self and emotional maturity within the self that you can frolic around like a wild child and, you know, not have adult consequences, put it that way. Underneath that, just to really hit it home, we do have earthworm and elephant. Elephant, as you guys already know, breaking through obstacles, and earthworm is 0 point. Something starting that's totally new, a totally new experience. I don't think you've had your inner child out like this since you were probably a child, and even then, maybe not to this extent. But it's because you are ready for it, and you actually have the emotional security and maturity, the infrastructure, if you will, to have a safe container for yourself to engage in this. It's very yummy. It is very yummy. I like it. It's very yummy. Some of you, this may be happening between you and someone you already know, where there's potentially been tension, whether that's come through as conflict or even like sexual tension. I almost feel like that's energy that's been like wanting to get transmuted. And so there could be something this week where suddenly the energy finally pops and it allows for authentic vulnerability between the two of you. Doesn't have to be romantic. Okay? Because it's like it's either conflict or it's like untamed fire, right? It's like conflict or like sexual energy, but it's tension. It feels like a ball of energy, and suddenly it's being dissipated, and allowing for this to take place. So very nice. All right, tarot cards, and then I really got to go. And I really, really got to go. Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Yeah, interesting. Five of Swords is showing itself. I can't get away from this feeling of tension, so I just want to hit home this point of the tension. Because this is about you at the end of the day. Regardless of how this catalyst is happening, there's been tension between your inner child, and it almost feels like your ability to control yourself, which is the ego. Ego is not always bad, right? For some of you, this tension has been also between you and other people, but that's because you have it between you and yourself. You see what I'm saying? When we have tension between aspects of self, like inner conflict, that ripples out and reflects in our relationships, okay? But something about that tension is being like popped. I keep getting like a popping with it, is being popped this week, and it's allowing for this authentic, playful, fun, inner child energy to come out to be experienced, okay? Any messages or insights? Ooh, that came out fast. Knight of Swords. This could be what's popping the tension. Knight of Swords is Gemini. It's also very fast, very direct, very honest, very blunt communication and or news. This is totally the source of the popping. Can I get another card for the Knight of Swords? Like somebody could come and say something to you, or suddenly something you say just causes the shift to happen. It's something about the sound of the words. It's about the words. And they're saying it's words. It's not just like an internal truth. It's words. Wow. Whew. Knight of Swords with the Lovers. Whatever truth is being spoken here, whether you're saying it to someone or someone says it to you, it's literally what I was saying before when we took that little break about sound, how like if you just have the right vibration, frequency, tone, or spell, word, you can like harmonize something. You can take something that's distorted or not moving, and you can harmonize it. You can balance it. That's what this is. That's totally what this is. Whatever you say or whatever is being said to you, it's harmonizing, causing the tension to shift, causing the tension to burst. And then suddenly it's just like inner child is out, play is happening. Like it's crazy. That is so crazy. Whoa, fire signs. No wonder you had to go last. No wonder you had to go last. The World card on the bottom. Okay. I got chills. Anything else from my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Interesting. And here we have Queen of Swords energy. I feel like the Queen is receiving the Knight of Swords. Yeah. Words are totally being exchanged. And like I said, I could feel it. Like it wasn't an internal truth. It was definitely some sort of catalyst, some sort of trigger. And it's happening by way of a conversation. And it's interesting too, because the water sign reading, water signs had to speak up and say something, right? So there could be something between water and fire going on here. Because I did find it interesting. Those were the last two elements. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. Anything else for my fire signs? Whether you're the knight or the queen doesn't really matter. It's about the words that just are spoken and the effect, which is this. Anyway, anything else for my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Otter. Sorry, Nine of Pentacles on the otter. my crown is really active. So when this happens, it's hard for me to speak properly. So I'm getting to that point where I really got to get off. But outer with the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is security, safety, confidence. It's also independence. So that's interesting that that's coming with the otter here. Again, I feel like all of this is just helping you to act more on your authentic inner desires, this authentic piece of you. But there's something about this Nine of Pentacles, though, with the otter that feels like this might be part of also what's dissipating, like the tension around the Nine of Pentacles, because I'm getting a little bit of like I can do battle by myself. I'm feeling a little bit of that, of like I can do a lot on my own in my own independent ways. But I feel like this is what's happening too, fire signs, is you don't have to. It's about letting people in. It's cool to be the Nine of Pentacles. It's important, actually, to be the Nine of Pentacles, but it's also important to be able to share in that with other people, right? And what did I say before? You do have a strong container. You do have the tools and resources and emotional maturity to be able to hold yourself in this place while still frolicking like a little kid. It's okay to share. It's okay to let people see. It's okay to let people in. I feel like I'm talking to fire signs that have been pretty reserved, restricted, and suppressed, honestly. All right. Anything else for my fire signs? Aries. Woo. I knew that Five of Swords is going to come out. I saw it when I was like shuffling the deck, and I'm like, I feel that tension. There's that tension. That's not fun tension. It's not. But that's what's being harmonized. Okay? That's what's being harmonized. It can come through as conflict with people, but it's really about the self and how that's also reflected out in relationships. Let me feel more into that Five of Swords. It's like this is part of the tension, right? You don't gotta, you can let people in, etc. But this is the crunchy centerness of that tension within yourself and between you and other people. It's ego battle. It's hearing the word relinquish, actually. Relinquish the control. Just relinquish the control factor. It feels like an agitated ego is what that feels like to me. I'm just going to say agitated, but that's part of what's going to be popped. Okay. All right. Final messages, because your girl's gotta go. I'm starting to run late. Anything else from my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay, fire signs. This is gonna start getting very specific. With what just came out here. Remember what I was saying? It's about you saying something to someone or them saying something to you, and that's what causes the energy to shift. Well, here's what we got. The words harmonizing the tension. High Priestess. With so much communication coming out and a very specific kind of interchange, with the High Priestess here, I definitely have this, it's like a psychic spidey sense is going on here too. So fire signs, I think this is something that's been brewing. Honestly, this feels like something that's probably been brewing for a while. Whoever this person is to you or you are to them, there's clearly some sort of, I'm going to say non-tangible connection. Like there's obviously a connection through the mind, through words. There's obviously a connection through the spirit, through the soul, right? Was this always going to happen? No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say this is always going to happen. I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying this is for a very specific group of fire signs. You know who you are, and you definitely know who you're dealing with. Who you need to speak to or who's going to be speaking to you. Overall, we have the Two of Swords. I heard it's been decided. It's been decided. Ooh, Ten of Pentacles, Four of Wands, the Fool. Interesting, because again, water signs had a choice too with the Two of Wands energy, and here you have Two of Swords. Something's going on with water and fire. There's no question. And when I saw the Two of Swords, normally to me that's like holding two conflicting truths. But it's also about actually making choices. And I heard it's been decided. So when these words are spoken, whoever's doing the talking, doesn't matter, and this harmonizing happens, it's like the choice is made for you. Whether you're choosing to speak the words or the words are being spoken to you, it's solidifying a timeline. It's solidifying a reality. But of the Four of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles, that to me screams Series Capricorn. That to me screams like foundational legacy and foundational relationships. Like that's what that screams to me. So it really just is a matter of who are you in this, right? Who are you in this? Are you receiving the words and then it happens, right? And then you get to frolic and play and all the things? Or are you speaking the words and you've known you've needed to speak the words? I would totally watch water. If you're watching this and it's resonating, I would totally watch the water signs. This is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. Wow. Okay. I gotta go. I honestly want to hang out and like get deeper, like not deeper into this, but just like see what else comes out. Look what fell out. Six of Swords. Moving into peaceful times, peace of mind. But I really do gotta go. So thank you guys for coming out and hanging out for 2.5 hours. I did not anticipate it being this long. I was just having a good time with you. But I hope this has been helpful and enjoyable, and I hope you have an amazing week. And if you're gonna catch the full moon Libra hangout on the 22nd on Patreon, I will see you there. If not, I will see you elsewhere. Okay? Bye guys. Take care. Namaste.